Ahoy, this is Zdenka. It's been a while. We talked about YouTube studio setup. Well, every year my YouTube studio setup changes as I'm progressing. And right now at about 50,000 subscribers in 2020, things changed once again. I feel like I'm on the intermediate level when it comes to setup, and I would love to share everything and all those tips, how I actually did this setup. So maybe it will help some of you who are working on their YouTube studio setup or any filming set. And also throughout the video, I'm gonna announce who won this Cinepeer C11 smartphone gimbal. And let's start with the empty room. So my area is in a basement and it's pretty much my photography studio. That's why it is all white and it's very plain and it's empty, because I like to use the light bouncing off the walls as a sort of light box. But things might change because, as we know, I already stopped working when it comes to photography. So I might be changing the look of the room a little bit. And today I'm gonna show you this YouTube filming studio setup, and also I'm gonna show you the overhead setup I use when I'm filming B-roll for some of the products I'm talking about. And how about we place something in the room and we start with the table. The table I'm using is actually just this very cheap white table. I used it on a trade shows, and to make it not white but kind of interesting looking, what we recently did with my husband, we placed the floor on the table. Our floor is not here a hardwood floor. It's kind of like a plastic imitation of a hardwood floor. And we still have some pieces as a leftover. So what we did, we kind of taped it together and placed it on this table. So the table is matching the floor and it just gives this nice wooden effect. And because this room is so empty, I placed some props behind me to fill it up a little bit. Over there is a table where I just have some cameras sitting on top. And if you noticed, I placed it a little bit forward because I'm hiding a plaque on the wall with one of those legs of the table. And on this side, you can see my old flashlight. I haven't used it for 8 months now, it's collecting dust, but it works well as a prop. So I placed it here on this side, moved it a little bit closer to me, not too far in the background so it doesn't look small. Let's talk about the camera. I'm using Canon M6 Mark II with just 15 to 45 millimeters kit lens. I simply like the view of the lens. I have also smaller cage on the camera and it's sitting on the Cameron tripod. It's a very old tripod. The reason I'm using this one is because it's very simple to use, it's very simple to set up, and it's very light. I also like this tripod to use outdoors. The downside to this tripod is that it's very light, so I cannot put heavy things on it. I cannot put, let's say, slider and other stuff. So it's strictly for this camera and strictly for outdoors. Before I get to fun part, which is the sound, let's talk about the light a little bit. Well, the main headlight I have here, it's still my video ring light. I've been using it since I started this YouTube channel 2.5 years ago, and I'm still using it. I simply like this light because it's super silent. You can turn it up, turn it down if you want to. I want to replace it, however, for a softbox light, video light. I have one of those here, but unfortunately the fan is not silent and the microphone is catching it. So for these type of shots, I cannot use that video light, but I can certainly use it for B-roll. So I would like to replace this ring light to a softbox to give me even softer look eventually. Right now, the light is sitting not in the front, but a little bit off center on this side, and it's on top there pointing down at me. To control the light in this room, there is actually a window right there. And if it is super sunny day with some clouds, you get that bright, dark, and it's just kind of affecting the look of the background. So what I simply did, I just covered the window. I grabbed some old cardboard and stick it right there. Cheap, effective. Now I would like to talk about those lights I have behind me to lit up the background, but first actually let me shut it down so you see the difference if I didn't have anything lit up in the background. Well, this is the look you get with only the main headlight facing you and then no light in the background. Pretty boring, right? So let me start with the first light behind me, which is Falcon Eyes F7 light. and I change it to color depending pretty much on what I'm wearing. I look at the color I have on me, and then I play with the colors and choose which one is kind of suitable. So let me go ahead and turn that backlight. And the light is sitting just behind me on the floor there. And I have it pointed on the wall, literally. You cannot see it in the shot, and it lights up the background pretty nicely. The center light behind me is not even on full strength. I think it's about 60% right now. It's quite strong. The next two lights I have behind me are there to lit the corners. So let me start with this one right here, and it's a small cube light I use. Let me turn it on. As you can see, the corner is lit up already a little bit nicer. This one is still kind of dull. That light over there, I like it because it's very tiny. It's super cheap. That one, you cannot turn it down, up and down with the strength, but you just turn it on. It's very easy to hide. By the way, all the stuff I'm talking about in today's video are listed below in the video description, so you don't have to write in the comments what are you using. It's all listed there, you can check it out. Let's turn on the other light in that corner over there. And that light is just a Wii light, another RGB light. I have it on 15% only. I don't need to put strength too much, and it lights up the corner pretty nicely. So now with those three lights behind me, the background gets quite interesting. Let's talk about the sound. I have here sitting Rode microphone. It's actually on an extension pole. And this microphone came with Canon M50 camera, which is sitting right there. It's quite cheap microphone. It works well. I just have it sit very close to me. It's about right here. You cannot see it in a picture, but it's close enough to catch my sound. This room has very big echo, but I'm gonna show you later how I got rid of the echo. But right now, let's actually unplug the microphone and see what you would get if you would not use any external microphone. Microphone is off. This is the sound you would get if you would be recording yourself just with a camera and nothing else. I think it is way better to get the external microphone. So that's option one when it comes to microphone in this studio. I gotta say that eventually I would like to replace it for something better, but that will come after I fix the background and exchange the headlight. So let's talk about the echo situation. Because this room is empty and big and very large, obviously you will get a lot of echo because there's no furniture, nothing like that. So what I basically did, I put a big blanket there which is hanging down. I also have some cushions here from a couch which is just around the corner. I just move it in and kind of place it around me, and that definitely takes away the echo. Also, bringing the microphone as close to me as possible certainly helps. You can get sound blankets and all that, and I'm interested in those things, but because we live here as a family, and if I'm eventually gonna get a bigger studio, move out of here, move the business somewhere else, I prefer the house to look like a house, like a residence. And like I said, if I'm gonna move my studio outside of here, then I don't want to leave too many marks here to do again another renovation. This microphone setup works if I'm not moving around, if I'm literally sitting in one position throughout the whole video. The option number two I have, which is kind of fresh, and for those who actually watch my videos regularly know that I recently got this wireless microphone. That one is definitely helpful if I want to film something in this area and move around, dealing with the echo. So if you watched my last video, that's actually what I was using, and I was filming here. And that's the sound you would get if I did not use any of those sound panels. I actually want to see how bad this echo in this room is, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the cushions, put them back, and I'm gonna record myself a little bit to actually hear how the sound is without all that help. And now that all the cushions and the blanket is removed, this is the beautiful echo you get in this room. Actually, the difference is quite huge. I can hear it myself as I'm talking, but let's get away from this. But just to compare the sound of this Rode microphone at this setting with all those cushions and all that, let me switch the microphones very quickly. And now you're listening to sound from this external microphone which I've attached to me. Again, this room has those cushions and the blanket there, so the sound should be pretty good without any echoes. I'm not editing this sound in the post, just so you can compare. I would certainly recommend to have both microphones in your kit. This one for the studio, for example, and also this wireless one in case you want to film in locations where you actually want to move away from your camera and still have a good sounds to be able to actually record yourself as you are talking. The other filming setup I have in this studio is when I'm filming overhead shots, when I'm showing out some of the products I'm actually talking about. For those shots, I'm not using this tripod, Cameron tripod, because simply it's too light. I'm using the iFootage tripod, which is very solid and heavy. On top of the tripod, I have the motorized slider, Moza Slipod E. It can be used as a slider, but also can be used as an overhead setup. I found it very useful and I use it all the time now. It's quite easy to set it up. You just turn it on, move it to the place you want, and you are ready to go. The main light I'm using, again, the ring light, I'm just kind of using it from the side. If I need another light, I just add it from the opposite direction. Again, I'm using one of those RGB lights I have, or sometimes I place few of them around just to kind of change the mood of the lighting. So this is my studio at the level of 50,000 subscribers. Again, I'm doing this full-time, but it's a small full-time. It's kind of like a minimum wage at this point. So I'm still on a budget, kind of replacing the items on a go, but I can get by. It's time to announce who is the winner of the Cinepeer C11 smartphone gimbal, and the name is right here. Congratulations! I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hit the thumbs up if you did and subscribe to all future videos like these. If you have any questions, comments, simply want to say hi, ahoy, or anything else, you can leave it in the comment section below. And I'll see you, my friends, all of you, in the next video. Ciao, ahoy!